Hello everyone, and welcome to the N Scale Cheapskate. I am the N Scale Cheapskate, and this channel is here to help you learn how to do model railroading, specifically in N scale, but applicable to all scales, without having to break the bank. One of the big things being talked about a lot in model railroading right now is how expensive it is. And in some ways that's true, but in other ways it's just getting expensive the way everything has been. But in model railroading specifically, there have been a lot of quality increases over the years and really good new features, but that has naturally come with higher prices. And some people are starting to feel like they're kind of being pinched, that if they want to have a good model railroad, you kind of have to cough up a lot of money for it. And for a lot of us, that makes having a good model railroad feel perhaps out of reach. I've been model railroading with N Scale on a really tight budget for almost 15 years now. And I'd say my railroad has turned out pretty good. You can have pretty good railroad with pretty good rolling stock without having to spend tons of money on it. Sure, it's not the sort of model railroad that you'll see in the pages of Model Railroader magazine, for example, but very few people have the time and money to put together a railroad like that anyway. If you do have that kind of time and money, then this channel probably isn't for you. But if you're the average sort of person who has a very limited amount of time and money to spend on the railroad, for example, I'm a parent of 2 children, that takes a lot of time and money. There's not a lot left over for the railroad. Then some of the tips and techniques on this channel could help bring model railroading back into reach for you. We're not only going to go through various techniques for model railroading that cost less than perhaps some of the more mainstream techniques, but we'll be talking about getting supplies for less and things like that. And we're probably also going to be starting a project railroad using these techniques in not too long. And yes, I'll be providing you breakdowns of the cost. If any of that sounds useful or interesting to you, then stick around on the channel and come along for the adventure. Oh, it says here that I'm obligated now to tell you to click the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any of those videos. If there are any specific aspects of model railroading that you'd like to hear me cover and talk about how to do on a budget, then let me know in the comments below. You can also comment with any cost-saving techniques you've found with model railroading that you'd like to share with the rest of the community. I think the first video, which is currently in progress, is going to be about acquiring locomotives and rolling stock for a good price, because that seems to be the number one thing talked about with the cost of model railroads. So I'm going to go straight to that first. Until then, though, enjoy your model railroad, and God bless.